see if my connection holds. All right. I seem to be live. This is my second try this morning. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks, Verizon. My computer and my modem both say that the connection is strong. And yet you keep saying, oh, your connection is unstable. It is not. Hi, Jason. Welcome back. Okay. Jeez Louise. Criminy. Evil machine. Let's see. Okay. What the heck? I don't know what I was talking. Oh, my brother Steve. He's home with medication for his heart. He was complaining of pain in his legs and having great difficulty walking, but it was actually his heart. His heart was racing like a mad thing. I don't remember the number, but it was outrageous. So he's on medication, he's at home recovering, and he'll get a heart monitor in the mail. The cats don't care. Oh, by the way, the other 3 cats went outside. It's just Tora and Sweetie this morning. We're having warm weather, but in the morning it's still kind of cool. Hi, Screaming Crane. Welcome in. This is my second attempt today. YouTube said my connection was unstable. All that, my brother is at home with medication because his heart was racing. He didn't know it was his heart. He thought it was his legs. Well, Witta's here. Good morning. I'll post on my GoFundMe about my brother. I don't remember posting. We had lunch at a local cafe and I got food poisoning. I'm not eating there again. They're the same place that gave me a Monte Carlo, which is a fancy grilled cheese sandwich. And the sandwich was cold. The cheese was not melted. And they wrapped it in a really thick layer of dough, close to 2 inches. And the dough wasn't even cooked. It was just brown on the outside. Oh, batter. They call it batter, not dough. That's the new and modern way of making a Monte Carlo. I prefer the old way where they just dipped they beat some eggs and dip the bread in the egg and then fry it. But when they cook it in batter, like, like fish and chips, like the fish, they're supposed to finish it in the oven so the cheese melts, because deep frying in batter doesn't get the sandwich hot enough. And there was no jam. You're supposed to have raspberry jam, but strawberry is okay. There wasn't any. And you're supposed to sprinkle powdered sugar, also known as confectioner's sugar, on top of the sandwich. They didn't do that. My feeling is that if you don't know how to cook something, you shouldn't put it on your menu. Hi, welcome back, Jan Miller. Uh, oh, hiccups now and burping. Well, I ate the sandwich on Monday kind of late, around 5. I was sick all day yesterday, vomiting and so forth. Today I'm a little better. I don't want to talk about parasitic worms. Anyway, their French fries are awesome. So if I have to go with someone who insists on eating there, I will just get a side of French fries. They make them with real potatoes. And I'm tempted to ask their cook, is this something personal against me, or are you just a lousy cook? He's the guy who served me chicken piccata. First off, the chicken was wrong. They're supposed to butterfly it so it's thin. And it just had lemon curd from a jar slapped on top of it. It did have why do I always forget the name of those things? The little green things on it that it's supposed to have. But the potatoes were cold, and he just put some canned beef gravy on the potatoes. And they were cold. I sent it back to get hot potatoes with just butter and no gravy. And he microwaved the whole thing, chicken and all. You don't microwave chicken, it turned into leather. Oh, welcome back, Jan Miller. I'm going to see if they screw up the French fries when they're for me. Well, the French fries that came with my sandwich were good, and my sister-in-law helped me eat them. Yeah, you know what they call the microwave? Chef Mike. Well, I won't deliberately eat there, but I might have to. And as I said, I'll just get a side of French fries. I don't drink their coffee. It isn't very good. It's the same Farmer Brothers coffee that you get at gas stations when you're on the road. I did complain to the manager. I thought I was safe because I ordered a cold sandwich that the servers put together, not the chef or cook. He's really a fry cook. But apparently, the tub of chicken salad that they took it from was too old and had gone bad. I'm not giving you the name of the joint. It's a local coffee shop that is not a chain restaurant. Anyway, I'm going to try the new joint in town. I don't know if they have food, but they do have bubble tea, and I've never had bubble tea. It's made with tapioca, and you can have just fruit juice with the tapioca. So you have tapioca bubbles. Freeman, you'll never be in Crestline, California, so don't worry about it. I got some things mailed, some packages, so that's 2 more boxes of stuff that is not in my house anymore. Already got paid for one. I'll get paid for the other after it arrives. And it's a guy I trust. Anyway, I have a feeling that if this continues, that coffee shop will have to close. A friend of mine ordered the Monte Cristo. I probably called it Monte Carlo. It's Monte Cristo sandwich, the fancy grilled cheese. And hers was perfect and awesome, and she loved it. So I have a feeling she went on the right day with the right cook. My Monte Cristo was just not even worth sending back. When the chef is that incompetent, there's no point in asking him to cook it again. Well, I have a feeling they're trying to save money, but they're doing it the wrong way. They are struggling financially, but they should have spent less on decor and more on good food and a competent cook. It's hard to get a cook for a place like that. They have trouble. The wait staff is awesome, but they have trouble keeping people to actually cook the food. I would volunteer, but I'm not physically able to handle a busy service at a restaurant. It would kill me. And I'm not the world's greatest cook either, but I do know a few things. Oh, they never tell you who's cooking your food. I'd be anonymous. But if the ingredients are that bad, at least I would know to throw them out. Everything's labeled with a date and what's in it and so forth. Oh well, we have other options. There's a place in Top Town. I keep forgetting the name of it. It used to be the Loose Caboose, but now it's something else. and they are awesome. But they don't serve dinner, only breakfast and lunch. Oh, the Samurai Delicatessen. Yeah, John Belushi was awesome. Oh, gosh. I'm tired. And I just, slept all night. Slept well without taking a Benadryl even. I just slept. Sometimes if I take a Benadryl to go to sleep, partly because it makes me sleepy and partly because I get a stuffy nose. Sometimes in the morning I have a headache as like a bad reaction to the Benadryl. So I didn't take one and slept well, and I'm just shaky and wobbly and tired. If I were physically able, I would start a little Navy street food cart or something where you can make the food ahead of time and keep it warm or cold, whichever is applicable, and sell it on the street. I'd have to get all kinds of permits and upgrade my kitchen. Oh, well, Tuesday, pardon me, yesterday I was okay, but wobbly and shaky. Tuesday is the day I really got the bad symptoms of the food poisoning. Monday is when I ate there. Anyway, yesterday I was too wobbly and shaky all day, just the aftermath of food poisoning. Yeah, I missed Ditch too. That was so shocking and unexpected. I really suspect that some kind of substance was involved. Mind altering. I have a million weeds to pull. I'll have to get on my phone and just upload a clip of the weeds. They're almost as high as my knees in some places. I've got to clear them for fire safety, not only because code enforcement will ticket me, but also because I don't want my house to burn down. Oh, that's interesting, Freeman. I ate a blue mushroom once. Many moons ago. The statute of limitation has passed decades ago. It was interesting, but it can blow your mind. It can. Well, don't look in the mirror when you've eaten a blue mushroom. I looked in the mirror and I was in shock. I looked old, ancient, almost like a mummy, and it wasn't real, it was hallucination. And then I could actually see through my skin and see the muscles and veins underneath. Hallucinations. But there was a good thing. I went outside and watered the lawn, and the grass thanked me for giving them a drink. Oh, well, destroying Angel wouldn't kill you suddenly. You have to suffer for a few days and then you die. I learned about that from a murder mystery. I think it was one of Agatha Christie's. And So I looked up actual research on it, and yeah, you suffer for a while and then you die. Oh well. Ah, I don't mess with wild mushrooms. I had one very interesting one in my backyard a couple years ago, and I thought it might be a morel, but the expert said, no, that's a false morel. Don't eat it, it'll kill you. Poor Ditch. I miss him. I did post something on his memorial website about how he contributed to our chat and we miss him. Oh, yeah. We just had Mother's Day. Well, there's lots of mushrooms that'll kill you. Eh. And Phil told me a story about how when he lived in Marin County, he used to go mushroom hunting. And one time the whole family got sick. Turned out they were the right mushroom, but they were too old. Yeah, well, I don't know anything about Discord. I have a feeling they want your money, though. That's the problem with things like Zoom. Well, Zoom is okay, but not the greatest. Locals, if you're not a paid customer, you don't get to do videos, though. You can put up a link to a YouTube video, but I think you get like 1 minute or maybe 3 minutes if you want to do a video on locals. What's the other one? Not Zoom. I forget. Anyway, I haven't tried to set up a chat on Zoom. They might tell me I have to pay money. We'll see. Yeah, the substitute for Skype just isn't working. I was supposed to have an interview on internet radio. They're also actually broadcast radio, but they also broadcast on their website. And they couldn't call me because this new thing that replaces Skype just wouldn't do it. X live streaming, I'm pretty sure you have to be a paid member to live stream, but I'll check it out. I kind of like X. I don't do much on it except look at other people's posts. But lately I've posted some comments on current events. You know, the Doge stimulus, so many politicians are complaining, why are you giving the people free money? We need to pay down the debt. Well, excuse me. The government is not generously offering us 20% of our own money. We the people are generously allowing the government to keep 80% of our money. All this Wade Frost, Wade Frost, waste, fraud, and abuse is our tax money. Blue Sky, huh? I've heard of that. Never been there. Well, you know what the problem is? They don't understand that when the economy is contracting and the government is borrowing money, that's disaster in the making. But if our economy grows because people have money and they spend it, we're more able to pay down the debt because we have a bigger economy, more goods and services which are real. As it stands, yeah, there are jobs. Lots of jobs. Many of them don't pay enough to keep a car to drive to work. And they're often too far away to walk or ride a bicycle. And now even those jobs are disappearing because of cheap under-the-table labor. Many people who make the minimum wage don't need a higher wage because they end up with less money. First, they pay more in income taxes. Second, their hours are cut because the employer can't afford to keep them full-time, and some just lose their jobs. Most of the job growth has not been in big corporations that can take a hit. It's been in small businesses that really have to work hard to survive. And Walmart, oh, I made the decision decades ago I'm not shopping at Walmart. At the time, all their products were from China. Now they're boasting that they have all these American products. But they're raising prices across the board on everything they sell and telling us it's because of the tariffs. When you have top executives making millions every year, I think that might be where you could make cuts, especially if they're paying all that money and business is failing. It doesn't mean fire this guy and hire another guy for millions of dollars. It means tie their pay to performance. I would love to get $15,000 from the stimulus, but it won't happen. We aren't even getting anything right now. Yeah, that's a good point, Screaming Crane. When Nintendo was doing really bad, their CEO cut his own pay to keep things running. That's a good CEO. He's a keeper. I want to know how all these people in Congress making about 100,000 a year are worth millions. They have their stock portfolios and their real estate and God knows what else. Oh, BP Gas, British Petroleum. Yeah, oh, California. I don't think I can leave, but man, I'm tempted. The Valero has 2 refineries here. They're shutting down both of them. One of them will be shut down by 2026, which is less than a year away, and the other one will take another year or two to shut down. And many refineries in California have already shut down. And it's even going to affect gas prices in Nevada and Arizona when we don't have enough gasoline. Their refineries are working at 100% capacity and they can't keep up with demand. And their gas is cheaper, so you know people in California who can gas up their cars in Nevada or Arizona. I remember years ago, around 1995 or something like that, driving to Las Vegas and having a reality check. I bought a couple cartons of cigarettes and filled the gas tank because it was so cheap there compared to California. Well, what what can you do, Freeman? Cut down a tree and get a $100,000 fine because somebody decided it was endangered, even though it's on your private property. But do something really heinous and slap on the wrist, do some community service. We can't put you in jail. The jails are too full of other people, more important criminals. Well, San Bernardino County has a program to fight these gangs that go into a store and just grab everything and run out with it. They're doing some good work, arresting criminals and recovering stolen property. Oh yeah, when when the gas station is on a well-traveled road where people are doing a long-distance drive, and the gas station is close to the highway or the freeway, they really boost their prices. But yeah, West Covina $3 a gallon, Baker and Barstow $8 a gallon. That figures. Well, you won't find. Yeah, I guess. No, gas. Last time I checked on the mountain was a little over $4 a gallon, maybe 5, almost 5. That's still too high, but it was $8. YouTube has bestowed graces upon us today. Well, welcome in, Etsequentia. They cut me off on the first stream, so I started a second one. Oh, 9 o'clock here, 9:02 a.m. Oh, well, shoot. My mouth wants something, probably a mint, coffee breath. What did you miss? Update on my brother. He's home on meds for his heart, waiting for a heart monitor to arrive in the mail. He didn't know it was his heart. All he knew was his legs hurt and he couldn't walk well. They did check for blood clots. I guess they didn't find any. I got food poisoning. I'm never voluntarily eating at that coffee shop again. It isn't the first time they've screwed up my food. At least the other incidents were not food poisoning. It was just other problems. Like, grilled cheese sandwich arrives cold. You're supposed to cook it and melt the cheese. Even if you do call it a Monte Cristo, which I question, it is a modern way of making it with dipped in batter instead of just eggs. But you don't you don't coat it in 2 inches of batter and then fail to cook it long enough to melt the cheese. Oh, Jason's getting a CT scan. Yeah, I'm fortunate. My immune system is pretty good for an old lady. Next month I'll be 71. Some people die from that. But I'm the fortunate descendant of survivors. So I survived. I was just miserable. Anyway, the DMV website is driving me nuts. You apply online, and then because I'm 70, I have to go in get an appointment and go in and do the eye test, get my picture taken and all that. But the website is just making me crazy. I tried to create an account and it said I already had one. I don't remember making an account there. Oh well, I guess I did. Anyway, and then I have to upload all these documents to prove who I am. Especially since I changed my first name as well as my last name when I got married. And I never went to court and made it official. I just started using Tessa because no one would call me Leslie, which is my real first name. Mom called me Tess, so they all called me Tess, and Phil added an A on the end. So fortunately, I have my old Social Security records as well as my marriage certificate and my birth certificate. So I have the records of my maiden name on Social Security, followed by my married name on Social Security. I hope that's good enough. But if not, I'll just say, well, forget the real ID and just give me a license. Oh, really? There's a bunch of scalpers hoarding DMV appointments and selling them? Well, the only reason I really have to have ID is that I can't see a doctor without an ID so they can be sure that my health insurance is really mine. I hope I don't run into that problem getting an appointment. Anyway, I just have a few more documents to upload. Utility bills to prove that I live in California. But the site is so slow, it wasn't ready to take them, so I had to sign off and come back today. So I'll do that after I sign off here. What, Tora? Pretty kitty. Did you get your picture? She was making noises in her sleep, dreaming about something. Good kitty. And she loves my blankies. Makes it hard for me to get under the blankets when I need to. What, over $400 to change my name? Oh, I can ask the court to waive the fee if I can't afford it. Oh, I don't want to do that. I hate court. I hate leaving the mountain. Well, I have a license. It's just going to expire on my birthday. I hope I can read their eye chart. I haven't had my eyes tested in ages, but I think I see all right without glasses. Yeah, the weekly cat dose. Tora's such a good kitty. I've been in courtrooms enough. I hate attorneys too, except the one who handled my bankruptcy a while back. She did a good job, and I didn't have, all I had to do was go into court and say, yes, I'm going to pay the monthly, you pay them every month to pay off the debts that you can't erase. I had a huge medical bill that I couldn't pay, and they got rid of that. You see, when I applied for aid from the county because it was their hospital, they wouldn't approve me because I didn't have a income tax return to show them. I had no income. I guess I should have gotten the form and just written a bunch of zeros on it and signed it, but I didn't think of that. I had sold everything I could and spent all my savings. And I couldn't pay this outrageous hospital bill, especially since I waited in the ER for 2 hours with no attention whatsoever, so I walked out. They didn't even take my temperature. Yeah, ex parte just means there's no opposition present. Means you're the only one there. Wit is wise, huh? You know a lot more about the system than I do. You can be a non-filer and get that form from the IRS. Oh, well. Well, what I did was start making the rounds of yard sales and things like that to get things that for a couple bucks that I could put in a consignment shop and make a profit on it. And then I won a settlement from some people. It wasn't quite enough to live on, but it helped. It was like it would make my house payment and keep the lights on, but I had to go on food stamps and Medi-Cal. And then I finally turned 62 and took early Social Security. Because people were telling you should wait till you're 65, you'll get more money. And I said, I can't pay my bills now. I'm taking it now. Wow. Anyway, it's a good thing I did take the Social Security, because the way things work out, the fact that it isn't that much money makes me eligible for the food stamps. But apparently not Medi-Cal. I do have co-payments. So that's kind of worrying me, because I'm arranging for treatment for my skin cancer on my face, and I'll have a co-payment. Oh well, I'll scrape it together. Most places will take monthly payments, so I don't have to pay it all at once. That reminds me, when my son was born, we had paid a deposit to the doctor, and we paid a deposit to the hospital. And after our son was born, we were making monthly payments on the bills for the doctor and the hospital. And we could afford it. And we were not wealthy. We were lower middle class. Not now. It's at least $10,000 if nothing goes wrong. If I remember correctly, my hospital bill was 3,000, and my son was 1,500. That's just under 5,000 for everything, for the hospital. We also had to pay the doctor a total of $800. So the whole thing was still less than 6,000. And yeah, there's been inflation, but my God, not that much. When Phil had his shoulder surgery, we made monthly payments to the hospital and the surgeon. We didn't have to come up with the whole thing all at once. And it wasn't that much. You know, he dislocated his shoulder, served him right, too. He started an argument about nothing because he was always doing that. And he got so angry he picked up a little seashell of mine and threw it against the wall. And I was thinking, did I hear that hit the wall? Did I hear the shell break before it hit the wall? Well, it was his shoulder coming out of the socket. He had an old injury, so it wasn't the first time. But this time he got surgery to prevent it from coming out again. And we made monthly payments to the hospital and the surgeon. Sheesh. I'm pretty sure that I can get monthly payments on a copay because my insurance will give them most of their money. I just recently had to pay $65 for, I forget which doctor it was. Why did I go there? Oh, they did a scope down into my stomach. There's a word for that I forget. And I had a co-payment. Well, anyway, it's been close to an hour on this second stream, and I'm losing it. And I gotta pull weeds. Doesn't take much brains to pull weeds. Let me get this out of my way. Okay, so I can type. So thank you all for being here and have a great day. What, no typos? I enjoy yard work. I complain, but I really enjoy it. It's just that the weeds this year are so tough in comparison to other years where I just grab it and pull it out. And now I have to dig the roots out because they're so strong. Yeah. Thank you all. And I'll stream when I can. See you later, alligator. And thank you all.